Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about Mapshare, specifically your tracks, routes, and activities. What the difference is between these three types of trails, and I guess I can touch on waypoints here too. So to go ahead and get started, your waypoints are going to be an individual set of GPS coordinates, typically indicated by a flag. You can change the icon on these as well, as long as you're under your map view. Just click on your icon, go up here to this little edit waypoint, and then you can change your icon to different colored flags, a couple other options in here. You can also change the name of your waypoint. So Mirror Lake waypoint, change it there. You can also change your elevation and your latitude and longitude if you have a situation where you need to do that. Once you're done editing, you can go ahead and hit the green check mark to save your changes or hit the X to cancel. You can also create new waypoints by clicking the new waypoint icon at the top of the screen. Simply click it and then just select wherever you want to put your waypoint. And then you'll have those same editing features here. This is where changing your latitude and longitude can come in. You can name it whatever you want. Add an elevation. And once you've got those details edited to where you want them, go ahead and hit the green check mark to save again. And then don't forget you'll have to sync this with your GPS. Otherwise, the waypoint may not show up. But I'm just going to delete this for now. And that should about cover it for waypoints. Next one I want to talk about is routes. So I'm going to go ahead and hide these others here while we talk about that. So a route is a trail file that consists of 250 data points or less. It can be used for navigation, or the way that I use it is just to show people roughly where the trail is that I'm going to be hiking. Since it can only be 250 points, the resolution isn't great on longer trails, but still gives a pretty close idea of what the trail looks like. And as long as you're on your map tab, not your Mapshare, you can edit the color of your routes and rename them. To do that, select your route and then hit the edit icon. And then you can just change the color to something else. And you can change the name if you want to as well. And there you can see the color changed. I'm going to change that back though, because I liked it the other way. I like to leave my routes black. You can also create a route from your map page by clicking the create route icon at the top of the screen. Just click on the map where you want your points to be. And then click the same point to stop creating your route. Once again, you can change the name and the color. Press the green check mark to save it. And that's it. You've created a new route. But I'm going to delete this so I don't clutter up my map. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is tracks. So I'm going to go ahead and unhide my tracks. Now, tracks are a trail file that consists of the data points your GPS is sending back while you're on your trail. So my track is my blue line here with the little blue dots. Each of these blue dots represents a tracking point where my GPS sent up the GPS coordinate data. The data points for your tracks can be set to send every 10 minutes all the way up to 4 hours. The 10-minute interval will give you more data points and therefore a smoother line and more accuracy if somebody's trying to find you. But it'll also use more battery power since it is sending data up to the satellites more often. In order to set your tracking interval, on your device, select OK, go down to settings, tracking, send interval, and then you can choose from the preset options, which are 10, 20, and 30 minutes, or 1, 2, or 4 hours. In order to start a track, once you're at your trailhead or starting your hike, you'll need to go on your GPS and select Start Tracking. Pretty simple. On your device, press OK and select Start Tracking. Just remember, when you're done with your trail, you need to press OK and select Stop Tracking again as well. If you forget to hit Stop Tracking, you'll have what I did here, and you'll just have some extra points from when you start your drive home. Okay, sets, routes, and tracks. The last one I want to talk about is activities. My activity is going to be this teal line here. It's similar to tracks, but as you're on your trail, it's storing your data points internally to your GPS. So it's going to have a much higher frequency, much better resolution. You're going to see there's a lot more data points. It's going to be this teal line here. You can see there's a lot better resolution on this versus the track, which is the blue line, or the route, which is the black one. Now the recording for the activity is started at the exact same time you start tracking. So it's the same button, it's the same function. Your tracking and your activity will start being recorded at the same time. However, at the end of your track, when you hit stop tracking, you'll have an additional option to save your activity. If you don't hit save, it will not save your activity data. Then once you get back to somewhere with internet access, your activity data should sync up with your Mapshare. If it doesn't, you can always sync with it manually from your explore.garmin.com website. You can also manage the frequency that your activity is saved at. You can manage that frequency on your device by going to OK, then down to settings, then tracking, then down to activity recording. And you can set that to either standard or high detail. And now I'm just going to copy some text from the online manual here because it's a little confusing to me. It states that you can have your activity recording set to standard, and it will record a data point every 10 minutes, or it'll match whatever your send interval is set to for your tracking. If you set it to high detail, then it will increase your resolution based on your direction and speed. However, I've had mine set to standard before and gotten much higher resolution that was clearly way more than 10 minutes. So I'll just leave you with what the manual says, and you can play with it and see what works best for you. So that's kind of the tip of the iceberg on the different types of trails. There's more to it, especially if you want to use these for navigation, but this should get you a good idea what you're in for and get you started. As always, feel free to shoot me any questions. I'll see if I can answer them. If you use these differently, let me hear that too. I'd love to hear how you're using them. That's all I've got for today. Have a great day, guys.